and Ryan, of course, everyone loves you together in La La Land, but this isn't the first time you worked together. You worked together, Gangster Squad, and then in Crazy Stupid Love, we've even seen you dance together before.
Interesting pose on me. I notice you're shirtless. So double whammy.
But now what happened? Because the dancing didn't go to plan in Crazy Stupid Love.
No.
Oh, yeah. You mean the Dirty Dancing lift?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Well,
we were meant to do that, and then what happened?
Oh, you don't remember?
Well, I remember, but I'd like to hear you.
You'd like to hear me tell?
Your version of it?
Well, listen, when I was about 7 years old, quick story. When I was about 7 years old, I was in gymnastics class, and I was on these parallel bars that are about 6 feet off the ground, and I was standing on the top of the bars, and the teacher was holding me by the ankles, and somehow or other, she let go. And I was standing on this bar, and I felt myself beginning to tip forward, and I put my arms in like this, and I fell 6 feet to the ground. And I broke both of my arms at the same time.
Wow.
And yeah, and so I spent a whole summer. I lived in Arizona, which is like 120 degrees, which I don't know what that is in Celsius.
Hot.
quite hot. So I had a cast and all the, it was miserable. It was the day before the last day of school. Anyway, I had internalized this. That's a really important.
It's an important detail.
I really know how to tell a story. So, anyway, years later, we do Crazy Stupid Love. I know that we're going to do the Dirty Dancing lift. I don't know, however, that I have an internalized phobia of being, lifted over someone's head at the height of about 6 feet. So I run to do the lift, and Ryan lifts me over his head, and what did I do, Ryan?
I've never had this happen, but I imagine if a possum fell out of a tree and started trying to scratch your eyes out, it would be something similar.
It was a lot. And then it was like a full meltdown. I mean, I had like a real meltdown.
Yeah, you had to go.
I had to go
you crawled in bed and watched
Labyrinth.
Labyrinth. We were in a house, and she was like, "I have to go watch Labyrinth."
For an hour, I went and laid down crying, watching Labyrinth. This is so stupid. And then Ryan came in and was like, "Yeah, right." And then the directors came in and were like, "Yeah, right." We're gonna use the devil, and I was like, "Great." And by the way, Jennifer Connelly is a revelation in this. I've never seen it.
Why did you learn how to dance separately? What was that about?
Oh, well,
Just the maturity level, really.
it was
lacking of.
Yeah, well, I think it was also maybe a little bit of a mind game, because I would go every day to my tap lessons, which I had never really done before, except for a little bit when I was like 12. And we would do these kind of very primitive tap moves, like you're 8 years old, which is the year after I broke my arms. For my story. The day before the last day of school. Anyway, we would do our tap moves, and I would say every day, "How's Ryan doing?" They'd be like, "Oh, he's amazing." He's doing really well. He's exceeding our expectations.
Of course, they were doing the same thing to me.
Well, we talked about that later. So for about 2 months, I just thought he was the most, incredible dancer of all time, and I was failing miserably. And then they put us together, and I was like, "Oh, I got this."
Could you play the piano before? Yes.
I play a few chords.
Again, no, he couldn't.
I always.
I mean, he learned to play the songs in the movie. Those are his hands the entire time. I mean, he's playing jazz piano, and he learned it from scratch for the film. I just think it's amazing. God, you're good.
I didn't have a choice. The director wanted to shoot all of these musical sequences in one shot, and he'd been dreaming about this his whole life. So it was either shatter his dreams or sit down and practice.
Now, Ryan, your mom, I'm sure she likes meeting the celebrities, but isn't it the gift room is really her thing? She enjoys.
I don't want to out my mom like this. I will tell a funny story about that picture, though, which is that my mom was convinced that year by her friend that beehives were going to be all the rage. And if you didn't have a beehive, you'd feel embarrassed. And it turned out to be the opposite. It was a natural hair vibe that night. And my mom sat in front of Rachel Wise, and her hair was so high that Rachel had to keep... And my mom kept sinking in her chair, and I didn't know what to do because I was, you know, I wanted to have a nice night, so I didn't know Meryl Streep, but she was sitting next to me, and I said in a commercial break, would you mind just telling my mom you like her hair, you know? Aww. And she was like, I got this. And then the commercial went, she goes, do you know, I wish I was going to do a beehive, and I wish I had. My mom was like, raising the roof all night.
Does she already know that story, your mom?
My mom?
Yeah.
Oh.
And now you realize
She'll never see this.
back in America.
She'll never see this. Yeah. We're going to focus on the early dancing career of Mr. Ryan Gosling.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Now,
Makes sense that the only video you have tonight is... is this.
so
Right.
the dance troupe you were in, can you tell us about... Because apparently, young dancers, they can be quite vicious.
It's a cutthroat business. And I had to get out. I was on some kind of Canadian Star Search, and I somehow made it to the finals. And my main competition were these two twins who were tap dancers, and they were dancing to Phil Collins' Two Hearts. Ooh. And they had big heart-shaped bows, and they were just, they were the ones to beat. So I remember, you know, wishing them luck and going on stage, and I was getting ready to start. I was dancing the Everybody Dance Now by CNC Music Factory, of course. Yeah. And I'm getting ready to start, which is This Is How You Started. A winning dance number, if you want to know.
Get out of your hands, go ahead, go up.
And I look up into the just off stage, and the two twins are standing there like the twins from The Shining. And they're just going like this. And I was like, all right, this means war. So I just shimmied my way all the way to that trophy, to that tiny little trophy.
No, because I was going. Is this the same troupe? I was going to say it's an all-girl troupe, but obviously it's not. You're in it.
Right.
But you are.
Thank you.
But you are the only boy in it.
Yeah, that was the.
Was that the?
That was the point.
That was the gimmick.
They let me dance there for free because I was a guy. Because if you had a guy, you would win.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So are you ready to see the dance stylings? I believe you're dancing to Kathy Dennis's classic "Touch Me." Did the troupe have a name, Ryan?
It was Elite Dance Studio. And
how old are you in this one?
old enough to know better.
Enjoy.